News just broke out on the internet that Rafael Nadal can reclaim the #1 spot in the ATP rankings after his surprising defeat in the US Open fourth round. For the first time since February 2020, the 36-year-old may surpass Daniil Medvedev and take the top spot if neither Carlos Alcaraz nor Casper Ruud makes it to the US Open final. Stay tuned so that you don't miss out on all we have for you. Why did Coach Moya say Rafael Nadal's ambition isn't to become world #1? Rafael Nadal's coach Carlos Moya has emphasized that Rafael Nadal's top aim is staying healthy for forthcoming Grand Slam events and not climbing back to the top of the ATP World Rankings. Despite losing to Frances Tiafoe in the fourth round of the US Open, Nadal is still in with a chance to regain the top rank for the first time in more than 2 years. Prior to the match, Daniil Medvedev held the top spot in the ATP World Rankings, which have been in use since 1973 and allow for historical comparisons across periods. After winning the Australian Open and French Open in 2022, Nadal came into the game in second place with 5,630 points. Despite the fact that Nadal's fate is already set, if neither Carlos Alcaraz nor Casper Ruud makes it to the US Open final, Nadal still has a chance to retake the top rank for the first time since February 2020. However, Moya asserts that Nadal's current focus is on returning to 100% fitness. So, he prioritizes his body fitness and stays healthy to compete in the Grand Slams. However, if the opportunity presents itself, they will undoubtedly take it. Nadal urged that he take a break from tennis after his loss to the 22nd seed. He said in an interview that he doesn't know when he will return, but he needs to get his life in order. So, he will prepare himself psychologically and he feels like he's ready to compete once more. Is Rafael Nadal quitting tennis soon? Rafael Nadal stated on Monday that he was unsure of when he would play again following Frances Tiafoe's elimination from the US Open on Sunday. The 26th-ranked Tiafoe defeated four-time US champion Nadal in the round of 16 by scores of 6-4, 4-6, 6-4, and 6-3. For his 23rd Grand Slam triumph, Nadal was competing. The American's free-swinging effort on Arthur Ashe Stadium revealed in 16 aces and 49 wins that outperformed a sluggish Nadal. Nadal, the champion of the Australian and French Opens, lost his first Grand Slam match of 2022 after having to withdraw from his Wimbledon semifinal due to an abdominal injury. With the defeat, the Spaniard's streak of 16 consecutive Slam quarterfinal appearances came to an end. Nadal remarked at a press conference that he has returned and he must make repairs. No doubt, Nadal's year has been difficult. Due to his 2 Grand Slam triumphs, he's surpassed Novak Djokovic by 1, but his physical limitations are starting to trouble him again. After sustaining a stress fracture of the ribs in March, Nadal required daily painkiller injections in his left foot in order to continue to win the French Open for the 14th time in June. Then, an abdominal injury prevented him from winning a 3rd Wimbledon championship. What really happened to Rafael Nadal's wife, Mary Perello? Rafael Nadal isn't having the best of times personally, but in the US Open, he keeps advancing quickly and without seeming overextended. The tennis player is preoccupied with something else, notably his 34-year-old wife, Mary Perello, who is nearly 7 months along and has been admitted to the hospital with an undisclosed ailment. The tennis player has become a little wary of the conflicting reports and the media's disregard for their privacy. He has eventually been compelled to make some statements as a result. As much as there have been numerous accusations made about my wife's health in the news, I'll simply leave it out there. My wife is fine. It is admirable that Nadal managed to defeat Fritz despite playing with an 8-centimeter abdominal muscle rupture in a quarterfinal match he won a few months earlier. Due to his wife's health issues and those of his unborn child, this time, the challenge has been more mental than physical. The Mallorcan tennis player has experienced anxiousness throughout his match against Fognini. This was because of the concerns he had for his wife's health, who happily seemed to be improving at home. It can lead to issues that could affect anyone if you add a force majeure, like your wife's pregnancy. Due to this, Rafa showed indications of stress yesterday during a match that, after the second set, was rather easy for him to win. When is Nadal expected to be a father? Rafael Nadal revealed to reporters in Mallorca that he and his wife Mary are expecting their first child. The rumors were prompted by Mary's recent photos from their yacht vacation, and Rafael has now confirmed the wonderful news. Rafa and Mary got married 3 years ago in a lovely wedding at their Mallorca home after dating since they were teenagers. Nadal has frequently expressed his desire to start a family, and at the age of 36, we will finally get to see him in his new role as a parent. Rafa aims to emulate his biggest opponents, Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic, who have successfully embraced fatherhood while maintaining their competitiveness. Despite a new family member, the Spaniard is eager to continue working for a few more years. After spending a couple of days on his luxurious yacht with his family and friends, Nadal is back on the practice court in preparation for Wimbledon. Despite setbacks and injuries, Nadal has had a terrific year in 2022, and the wonderful news about the baby makes the year even better. Rafa missed the second half of the prior season due to a foot ailment, so he was unsure of what to anticipate in the early months of 2022. The Spaniard overcame injury once more and won the second Australian Open title after a thrilling victory over Daniil Medvedev in the championship match. Is Carlos Alcaraz really the next Rafael Nadal? Rafael Nadal, the king of clay, is supposed to be retiring soon, while 19-year-old wonder kid Carlos Alcaraz is quickly rising to the top of the sport. How good is he? This player currently controls the tennis world, and it appears that he will continue to do so for a very long time. He is capable of any maneuver and has the attitude to go along with it. He's already won 4 championships in 2022, including the Masters events in Miami and Madrid, where he stunned the greats Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic before defeating Alexander Zverev twice in succession. Alcaraz, a native of Murcia in southern Spain, started playing professionally in 2018 and quickly established himself as a player with tremendous potential with the aid of former world number 1 Juan Carlos Ferrero. With powerful ground strokes and the best drop shot available, Alcaraz already has a complete game, but for a player his age, his maturity both on and off the court stands out as particularly exceptional. His finest Grand Slam performance to date came at the US Open last year, where he advanced to the quarterfinals, but he is seen as Nadal and Djokovic's most likely competition for the coup de mousquetaire. Alcaraz makes no secret of his aspirations, telling Marca in an interview that his objective for the remainder of the year is to try to win one of the 3 Grand Slams left in play. Is Nadal the greatest men's player of all time? He has the figures. The Spaniard leads the closest rivals for the title of greatest player, Roger Federer of Switzerland and Novak Djokovic of Serbia, by 2 men's Grand Slam championships with 23. Do numbers truly represent excellence? Without a doubt, no. Nadal's greatness is not fully captured by data, but they do back him. Along with 4 US Opens, 2 Australian Opens, and 2 Wimbledon crowns, Nadal has won 14 French Opens. Nadal has won on clay, grass, and hard courts, a feat that has eluded some of the greatest players in history like Pete Sampras of the United States and Bjorn Borg of Sweden. The quality of Nadal that appeals to me most is his never-say-die mentality. The final point must be played before a Nadal match is declared over. The Spaniard has triumphed despite appearing to be in a losing situation. In tennis, it is awkward to witness a forehand that has a heavily spun finish over the opponent's head. His style of play is running the length of the court while returning each shot with a thunderous forehand or a crushing double-fisted backhand. Nadal has had a lot of success with this gameplay, having won 36 ATP Masters titles. In addition, he has a very high victory percentage compared to other players. Nonetheless, in my opinion, Novak Djokovic is still the greatest player since he constantly defeats Nadal in most important contests. What do you think? That's it, folks. You've made it to the end of the video. As regards to keeping up to date with our news, kindly drop a like and a subscribe. Oh, and turn on post notifications. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll see you in the next video.